Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 2008 film WALL-E. Now, as you know, WALL-E is meant to be a 2008 computer animated science fiction film that was produced by Pixar and released by Walt Disney Pictures. And Pixar were known for doing hit films like Ratatouille, Toy Story, A Bug's Life, and so many other films. So, the premise of WALL-E is meant to take place in the 29th century. Due to corporate greed, basically, basically causing like Earth's resources and that to be destroyed because of neglect, leaving Earth into a giant garbage dump. So we kind of see how WALL-E, who's meant to be the last of his sort of models, goes on a whim, sort of collecting trash and sort of collecting things as a hobby. And I think what's interesting is when WALL-E does watch a clip from the sort of film Hello Dolly, I think it's interesting how he takes inspiration from the films, and he kind of shows that he wants to have a relationship of his own, which I think kind of implies he's basing it more on love-struck comedies. And when we're kind of shown to the kind of robot from from one of these ships that escaped from the planet, we kind of see how WALL-E wants a relationship with Eve that feels extremely enforced. And I think the problem with WALL-E and Eve, they don't really work as characters because it kind of becomes clear that WALL-E is only interested in Eve after basing things on love-struck comedy films. And it kind of becomes clear later on in the film that Eve starts to feel sorry for WALL-E, and I kind of feel she's only starts to get interested in him due to feeling bad for him. And I think what's interesting is, after finding life on Earth, we kind of see how WALL-E ends up on on the ship the Axion, and it becomes clear that the people living on here have become overweight, unsure what to do with their lives, and it's never really shown with the other two people that sort of get out of their routines to kind of get others to sort of see what they want. And I think there's a moments where the film does feel extremely wasted potential. And I feel like when you've got the captain kind of sitting down and looking through Earth's history, you can kind of tell he does get enthusiastic about it. And of course, there's more truths about the ship than there is. Now, like I said, I think the film had time to do a lot of things with characters. Like, we could have seen WALL-E basically preparing a meal for himself in his sort of house and basically creating a kind of model girlfriend. We also could have seen basically the other people on the ship, the Axiom, to sort of start questioning what they really want to do once they get back on Earth. And some things I think feel a little rushed, but it's never really shown what happened to the other ships apart from the Axiom. And it would have been nice to have seen a whole fleet of them getting ready to kind of head off onto Earth. And I also kind of feel the relationship between WALL-E and Eve doesn't really work because we never really get much time with them. It never really feels authentic because it's kind of clear WALL-E's only in a relationship with Eve and wants things to work out after basing it on love-struck comedy films. And it kind of feels Eve's only in a relationship with WALL-E due to feeling so bad for him and kind of realizing how much he put a lot of his time looking after her, which doesn't feel authentic. I feel when you've got things like Ghibli films or basically animes like Naruto, also basically Dragon Ball Z, we had time for Boma and Vegeta to get to know each other. We had time for Naruto to realize that how much Hinata meant so much to him. These actually felt like authentic relationships. And when you kind of got the villain, he doesn't really feel like a real threat. He's just a robot who's got a programming. So I think to me, Wally is a giant hit and miss. It's not one of the best, and I know it's got a lot of basically positive reviews, but for me, there is a bit of a good side. There's a good side about about environmental awareness, but at the same time, it feels a bit of a giant hit and miss. So I think it deserves a thumbs down. Not good and not great. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.